and that would be through the forums of the Blacknificent Radio Show on the YouTube and on the Facebook as well. So you can join me live on there, right? And it's a Grand Risings, Galaxies Grand Rising, right? Galaxy Grand Rising. Just put that in there, then you can see you can come and join us live and direct in the studio as well. Also, you can call in on 0203 289 6504, right? To say, just tell us what's going on, where you are, what's happening for you, and everything else. I know that some of you love to hear the weather check as well, because you can't be bothered to look outside your window. So let me tell you how it go for us right now. Right. From 8 o'clock it shall be 40. The height of today shall be 53. Right. And there is the anticipation of possibility of rain. This is over the London area. Okay. So it is going to be cloudy. No. Cloudy and sunny. How that work? How that work? We don't know. We got some bright sunshine right now as I'm here in the studio. So I'm gonna accept that, and I'm taking the umbrella of sunshine with me everywhere I'm going today. So you can follow me. Yeah, you can follow me. Anyhow, Grand Rising, my brother. Right, you're distant. You're sounding very distant from from your mouthpiece.
Tribute to our sister.
Mm-hmm.
And, hope that she is very good health, and that we can continue to hear her on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Well,
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay.
yes. Thank you. Yes, I'm. My anticipation is that she will be able to reconnect like how she has done previously. You see,
Right.
and then like we can continue with our journey and our expansion of connectivity as well. So we got some projects in line, right? So we're going to be see how they pan out over the next few months while she's residing in Jamaica. And I'm not jealous in any way whatsoever.
You sure about
Ah. Oh boy. Well, it's just circumstances, man. Circumstances how it go. Your commitments and everything. So, but sure, I just have to just live within my lot of what I am, where I am, and what I'm doing. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. My sadness is that I didn't get to meet her. It would be, she seems a wonderful person, and it would be nice just
Right.
to meet her. And that also brings
But
me on to something which I'd like to bring to the topic concerning, again, listening to the sister yesterday on Nana's show, a very elegant sister from Kenya. And, it's triggered several things in my mind. And I've sent you something. I don't know if you have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is from my uncle, who was director of education in Trinidad back in the 70s.
Mm.
And he's my mother's younger brother,
Mm-hmm.
And since he went over to Trinidad all those years, till my mother died, they've never linked.
Mm.
That it brings to me the situation that we're in. How many families are like that? How many people have families and never see them after 50 years, after 60 years,
Yes.
And this is the problem that we have in the world today.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the big problems that we're having in the world, that lack of communication between families,
So one of the things I'm a person that I do love and I do appreciate the family connectivity. But what I've learned, and then I don't know if you can see this, right, or you've experienced it even, that as much as I would love us to be in oneness and communication all the time, right, and in support of each other, I don't get that from the other side. You know, it's not reciprocated to me. You know, now I feel that I'm very blessed and fortunate to have grown and been raised by my mother, right? And her actions were always we have to look after each other, right? And like, you know, even though I observed her sending barrels and barrels and barrels of items, right? And it's not that we were wealthy or anything like that, you know. You just put together, and she would send like 2-3 barrels a year down to Jamaica, like, you know, for her family, you know, and the rest of the people that she know down there. And she did that year after year after year after year. And I thought to myself, why is she doing? But because I was born here in the UK, I didn't have the connection with Jamaica, because we never visited, right? We never visited when I was younger, and I was able to take her. I was able to take her myself down to Jamaica, you know. So, you know, and any time that she did go, she always went by herself down to Jamaica. And like for me now, I thought to myself, why is it that I'm seem to be the only one who's reaching out? You know, and like for me, it's like it just seems to be a one-way thing all the time, you know. And even with my immediate family here, and I'll say, even with my immediate family here, it just seems to be a one-way thing. Like I'm the one who's calling, I'm the one who's looking out for, type of thing, you know? And it doesn't seem to be reciprocated in ways that I would have anticipated or expected from others. You know, how do you feel about that, my brother?
Well, you know, as you rightly say, you know, I mean, when I came to this country, it's not that they didn't know each other or each other is or whatever, but as you rightly say, they didn't, you know, it was not a regular contact. This one live over there, that one live over there, and so forth. And it was when I came here back in the city, and then I started moving between them, you know, and then I can share the information from one to the other. You know, I was by there, I was by this one, I was, you know, and so on and so forth, you know. And gradually they start communicating more and more, you know, you see. And this is the problem that I find that we're in, and that this is the thing that can drive us apart, because you haven't seen somebody for a long time or something like that, you know. And then I also hear, you know, you know, because like as I said, my grandfather from my mother's side, it seemed like he had a lot of women, a lot of children from different women and so forth. So that younger brother was not from my mother's mother. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes like that, those children don't feel like they have an affiliation to the other, you know? And that, I never see that as such. I say a brother is a brother. You know, somebody say, oh, he's half brother. To me,
exactly.
Understand?
I have half brothers and half sisters as well. We all have different parents, different mothers, but it's the same father. Yeah, I've got that as well, right? And even with that, boy, it's like, you know, what we see as, we're brothers and sisters, and that's it. You know,
exactly.
But
you
like,
know, right? You know, but a lot of people, oh, he's my half brother, so I don't have, you know, that real connection, and me, that's a sadness. You know, that is among our people, not just our people, but around the world with a lot of people. Because, this thing, what do you mean half? Your brother. Whether it's from your father or it's from your mother, your father may have lots of children, but they are your brothers. They're from your father. To me, this is a very big breakdown of where we are. And, the sister talking yesterday make me looking at it. Because I'm trying to find out, yes, you're talking and all of these things is very good, what you're saying. And maybe before I go on, maybe you can read, I don't know if you've seen that document I sent, but if you've seen it, if you can read it out for me, please. Because then it will carry on to exactly what I'm trying to get at. I sent it on the WhatsApp this morning, so maybe you might have seen it.
On
your
Galaxy,
WhatsApp.
on the Galaxy?
No, on your personal WhatsApp.
Okay. Let me see if I've got it here. Let me see.
Yeah, but it was a lecture from my uncle. I mean, he was in Trinidad. Those days in the 80s, I used to go down to Guyana, and I went to, I tried to contact him because I got information from one of the relatives who helped him. I contacted him, did correspond, so but when I went to Trinidad to see him, he was away on lectures. When I went to his office, he was in his office, but they let me know that he was in Barbados at the time on lecture. So I never really got to meet him, and even I inquire deeply concerning him, and it's like all these people from Trinidad, and this person has a very high position in the country, and you don't know him, and back home it was very difficult back in Montreal for a person not to know the different ministers and who they are, or different people in different positions, because one of the things that they used to do, again with music, the Calypsonian, always sing about these politicians. You know what I mean? It's who's sleeping with who eat with who, and whatever. Okay, and so the people who have that as a conversation, they will know who is who, and what are they up to? Are they good for us, or things like that?
Yeah. And I find that as well, like in the Africas, the Caribbeans, right? They're more connected with who is who and what is their responsibility. You could talk to almost any other person down here in the UK, and they wouldn't even know who their local councillor is.
Exactly,
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We did a few weeks ago. We was at on the demonstration, and I spotted my local councillor. He was like eavesdropping, I would call it, right? And then when I pointed it out, say, "Oh, you're my local councillor," and I called him by his name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He looked at me very surprised, like, And then I said, "Come here, let me talk to you." And he said, "No, I'm just passing. I'm just passing." Yeah. You understand? So I said, "Wow, look at this. Look at this."
Why would he want to be surprised? Because he's supposed to be a counselor.
Exactly. He should be there to find out what the issues are, putting himself forward for that. But obviously, he just probably wanted to come and just glean what he wanted to, and then probably go to a meeting and says, "Yes, I attended, and I know the issues, and I'm aware of these things and whatever, but refuse to engage with us directly, which is not good.
And that brings me to this, as I said, the situation with Sister Poppy yesterday about, how many of these leaders has actually gone to start, the politics itself, or even study, and because if you're selling out your country, you go in as a leader and you have no love for the country that you have. You don't want to see that country rise to the height. Look, Chairman Mao and all those people. Yes, they may have destroyed a lot of people, but the point is they're looking at the country. Why should we be second best to America? Why should my country not be lifted up the same way?
Well,
you understand?
You know what? We
but the people are seeing the benefits now.
We have been holding ourselves in a subservient manner for a long time, right? We've been holding ourselves in a subservient manner for far too long, and in doing that, it has been to our detriment. It has been to our detriment, to the extent of where we don't even recognize or act, even in most cases, and I'm going to say in most cases, don't even acknowledge our connectivity with our source, right? And when I say source, being an African, yeah? But the fact is, no matter what you do, a leopard cannot change its spots, yeah? Our instinct will always be that of an African, right? Even if we don't recognize or wish to acknowledge our behavioral patterns, right? It will come through because that is our instinctive behavior. Our instinctive behavior. Even if you wish to deny it, right? Even if you wish to deny it, or even if you wish to, as I would say now, to embrace it amongst those who do not wish to acknowledge it, right? There's a program on at the moment, right? What's it? They call it like a live experience, right? Called Big Brother, right? You remember that program there?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's on at the moment. It's on at the moment.
I know.
Right. It's on at the moment, and there are two African young girls inside there, right? And they are. Let me put it this way: there's one that is very culturally aware. They're both culturally aware, right? Because within the African community, they are very active within the African culture. Right? And there's another, I would say, mixed race brother, right? Mixed race person, and he was the one who was highlighting the differences even more than what the white people were, right? And the thing is that the white people thought it was so disgusting the way he was behaving, right? And then he said, well, if they don't want to be, if they're doing things completely different to what we are doing, that's wrong. And of course, everybody's there trying to be on their best behavior and not to embarrass themselves or anything like this, right? The majority of, not all of them, but the majority of them, right, have obviously jumped to the defense of these two sisters there in there. But even in that, they have their conflict between each other. They have their conflicts in between each other. And like as us as Africans, right, we would recognize that. We would recognize the differences. But obviously the white people, they don't know the differences, and they were laughing about it. They were laughing about it. It's like we're two strangers, but they just see us as one. And the thing is, that is our strength. The oneness is our strength. Yeah. And
Well,
once
it is our strength, and then, but as I said, unfortunately, it is gradually breaking away, and
yes.
and that's why I'm saying, you know, that when I look at that situation of my mother and her younger brother, and because one go this way and the other one go that way, and because one is from a different mother from the other one, and no contact, and you know, I look around the world, the same thing. I mean, little things that run through my mind, but you know, but as I said, yes, it was a trailer for me, and that document, as I said, which I, you know, because it seems like he was, as I said, director of education, that he was very, very educated, very educated man, and he wrote a lot of, well, you know, his things and so forth. In those documents that he gave them to the life of Trinidad. But that was just a little excerpt of what he was pointing out. And he was talking about education at the time. But when I look at it, you can place it anywhere, in the family, in any position that, especially the position of parent, right? Especially the position of parent. Right? Because we're in a very difficult position that we need to come out of. And he's looking at the situation and saying, well, you know, did you find it?
No.
Okay. But basically what he was pointing out, that education, although it exhorts us to different, you know, change many things in our life, right? Become very knowledgeable and so. But it seemed to him that at the time, 1975, there was a crisis in the education system. And he's saying, well, you know, do we want change? Do we want to change our ways? So take it back to us now, like how we are in our situation as black Africans in the world. Do we really want to change? Do we want to change our condition? You know, having listened to those systems, do we want to change the system? And hold on, we need to look at what we need to do to change. You know, I mean, we have an analysis of the situation, and that we have in plenty. We talk about it every day, right? We talk about that every day. Do we? But that is what he points out. That's what we do. We talk a lot, right? So then he said, well, let us look at what we need to effect this change. Said we need money. Again, as I always point out, we have money, but we don't have the money of the kind of other people out there, right? Because Africa working on 6 trillion, right? I mean, and we're not all Africans in that land.
Yeah, go on.
So basically, we're working, the Africans, 1 point something billion people, is working on maybe $4 trillion, the economy of Germany. You know, because you have to break it down, because those Arabs, they're not part of what we're looking at. Those white South Africans in the South, they're not part of that. We're looking at the black Africans.
No, even now, right? If you follow what's going on there, right? It's like it's a reversal of all the work that has been done over the years, right? It's like they're just handing them back all of this territory, right? And then you know what will happen is that they will make it even worse. They'll make it even worse, so that the Africans there, they won't get anything out of it in any way whatsoever, right?
Well, yeah, and that is the reason why I'm pushing. Since I went there, I'm saying we need to be there now whilst it's growing. We need to be there now. As I said, think about it. Think about what I just said. Right? Africa is working on about $6 trillion. About $6 trillion. Right? You have in the north, Egypt, you have Tunisia, you have all these places. So that's probably take out, maybe $1 trillion out of all of those places that they're richer than many of the other countries by far. Right? So the rest of the 1-point-something billion Africans who are there is working on a level of the economy of Germany, which is about between $4 and $5 trillion. We're poor. We're poor beyond measure because we see a few of us who have a little bit, but that's not the norm.
That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing.
You understand? It means nothing. It's not the norm. Like I point out to people, like I was pointing out to my friend from Jamaica one time. I'm saying, look, brother, Jamaica is very poor. Say, no, man, it's got big houses and so forth. And I said, brother, you hardly have the cars that, because I do all these things, surveys and things, I mean, said, man, no, man, there's so much that. Let us go and check. We check before you, right, you see what, see that, I mean, you think there's a million cars in Jamaica? No. Very few cars in Jamaica to the population. You understand what I'm saying, right? So what I'm saying is, I said, look, you look down the road and you may drive past and you see all these big houses. You travel maybe 2 miles, 3 miles, you see all these big houses. 2 miles, thinking a lot of houses. Maybe 100 houses you pass. Nothing. Right? It's nothing. Go to the slums. In that same area of mileage, you would probably see 3,000, 4,000 houses. That's the problem. You see what I'm saying? Right? And so you're looking at the situation of Africa and how poor we are. And we have the richest real estate of the ground than anywhere else. Why does our leaders don't have that vision? I mean, I've also sent you something with a new leader in both classes. Very seems like the guy that was many years ago.
The one that was who? The one that was what?
The guy that was assassinated in Burkina Faso many years ago. Very light. Trying to bring up his name, but anyway, he was one of the great visionaries, Thomas Sankara. And it seems like Thomas Sankara has been reborn by this new guy. And I sent you the link, so maybe when you get the time, you will listen to it, hear what you have to say. But the thing is, what I'm saying is that we as a people, right, we in our families, we can't even come together. And we're trying to get countries to come together. And the buck starts with us. The buck starts with us because we are so divided. You may be talking about something detrimental to the country that you belong, and the other brother is totally in opposition to you. Like the demonstration you all had down there the other day, in Peckham. Here's some of you guys fighting for the rights and the justice of many of our people, and others are pushing past you and saying, "What do you talk about? Deal with." You know what I'm saying? So how do you move forward? My brother, these are the things we have to address. We have to look at them in a clear manner to understand. So when the people were talking yesterday, asking, what is the plan? Are you all planning to come together, to team up together? Because as when you put funding, so you need money, don't have. Go and say, We need we need to assert, right, a conviction that we're going to get the matter done, right? Action is needed, but are we willing to take that action that is needed to make the thing happen?
That's right. You see what you touched there now? You see what we touched there now? Even yesterday evening, right? I was out and about, and there was some sisters that I was talking with, right? And they brought up the subject. They said, "Boy, you know that we're all single and all that." And I was thinking, "But you're all beautiful sisters." Because why are you single? And it says, "Well, you know, we've worked, and we're kind of what they call the independent woman, right? But it's not the independent in the sense of that we want to be alone. It's that we can maintain and sustain ourselves, you know,
Right.
because each one of them, right? They had multiple businesses, right? Each one of them had multiple businesses, you know, and where I think a few of them, there was 3 sisters, and 2 of them had divorced. They had been divorced, right? And even with that, I asked, well, why is it that you got divorced? And they said, well, both of them, they said their husband chose to leave them, mainly because of their success.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think, whoa. So it wasn't a case of you actually run them. You run them away. You know, and they said, no. It was never that. It's the fact that because they were like, you know, very successful and, you know, bringing in a few $100,000 a year, right? That they felt inferior in some cases, you know? And then like, I thought to myself, well, boy, if the shoe was on the other foot now, that the man was bringing in a few $100,000, I'm sure that the wife is not going to turn around and say, well, I feel inferior, so I'm going to leave, you know? And like there, I sort of like embraced that mentality of, you know, who's ever successful within the family, right? Or within the relationship, right? We should just embrace that and then, you know, just play your part as best as you can, you know? But unfortunately, as they were saying to me, because like when the reason why they're talking to me, because they found out that I was a presenter on Galaxy. And I said, you know what, that needs to be a point of discussion of like, why is that an issue within the relationship, and how can it be resolved? You know?
Well, see, as I said, you know, that's why I was saying that time concerning man and woman, right? That's instinct.
We had that. We had a similar discussion a few weeks ago, didn't we?
We did. And that I was saying, pointing out the natural instinct, right? A woman, right? She knows and understands the man is the caretaker. He's the one to bring in. And there is not, I'm not saying that there isn't women who will be happy to say, well, you know what, I don't mind my husband, okay, he's not able to work and so forth, things like that. You know what I mean? And I will continue to do whatever it is. But there's very few and far apart. You understand, right? Many, once the man is not able to bring in, not able to maintain her, and so forth, they go on, they look for somebody else. It's not that they're going to say, boy, I'm going to push myself and go out there and do this, and I will look after him and so forth. You know what I mean? Yeah? No, not many. I'm not saying all, but by natural instinct, many of them, they would not be happy. They'll not be comfortable.
Yeah, they're not comfortable holding that position.
Yeah, the man, no matter whatever happens, he knows he has to bring in that bread.
Mm.
You know, not whatever condition, whatever it is, he has to bring in that bread.
Mm.
And you know, and he has no problem in doing so.
Mm.
You know, he doesn't have a problem that he's not able to thing, as long as he's able to help him in the house.
Mm.
You understand? That's all he's looking for, is that boy, she can, when I come home, she helps me to eat, and she helps to do this thing that I need. That's all he cares about.
Mm. Do you feel hold on, let me ask you a question, my brother, right? I'm hearing what you're saying, right, and how you're saying it. I hear what you're saying. Do you feel that because of the place that we are living in, for instance, in the UK, right, in comparison to the African continent, do you feel that the gender roles, the male and female roles, right, are different from one place to another? Or is it just the expectations of us?
It's the same all around the world, okay?
Mm.
It's all around the world. That mindset is there. The only problem is why women is being forced. The problem that there is because of the war that men is fighting, and the women end up having to, right? Because now they
go on the front line and fight.
You understand, right? So many of them are pushed into that role. But for many of them, if the man was able to support, or the man there to support, many of them will not be concerned about going off to work or anything like that.
Okay. Allow me to bring another voice into this. Brother Julius, greetings.
Greetings, my brother, and greetings to Brother Akram. Yes, my man. Willie, I just joined the bus. Let us bring some balance into this reasoning.
Please,
yeah, man. And I just like the question you just was about asking Brother Akram just now, if he thinks that the surrounding that we are living now, if that might be affecting the household, or when we talk about relationship about man and woman, husband and wife in the house and so on.
Yeah.
You see, that's a good reasoning. Because you see, when we argue in a point there, we should be looking on all the ends there, and then we realize that we just try to blame, and firing.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, it doesn't help at all. But we have to get a good reasoning. Now, this system we live in, look like I was listening to one of the stations talking about if people who live in tents.
Yes.
You understand? They building all them things. The other bloke was talking about a place like Los Angeles. Can you imagine America who would think that this is a rich country? People live like Los Angeles on the main road. People live in tents there.
Yeah.
Even in Britain, it's happening right now. We are discussing about saying they hope that this place won't become like America.
Every morning when I go for my power walk, I'll go to my power walk about 5 a.m. and I will see tents everywhere. Like if there's a park or even on an estate, If you go through them, you'll find 1 or 2 or 3 or even more tents in those places. And then by 6 o'clock, they pack their tent up and they hit the road.
Yeah. They find their liquor, something to go. Right. Because why? Everything is like kind of going expensive.
Oh yes.
People can't live their life. You understand? It's only the fittest or the survivors keep going. People can pay their gas, they can pay their eating, they're heating them up on every place system, you understand? And these people are playing politics on you, on people. We have talked about this talk before, that when it comes to like man and woman or whatever it is, you see the system these people did, it's been there from a root time. You're talking about the independent ladies, them just now who think they are independent, but not independent. But this is how the system sets it up, right? And them boys, them who you say must have run away from their woman. I don't think that's how it is. You understand? If like a position come where maybe happen that there's an argument there or whatever it is, and then the woman say, oh look, I'm the one who bring in the bread in the house or whatever it is. I don't think any man will look at a woman who has so much money or whatever it is. Why am I going to run away from that woman and say, this is the thing that we're looking for, so help us get along with our life or whatever it is. I don't think it will be on that line. It will be something more than that causes such a thing that maybe that separation come or that divorce come or whatever it is, something like that. You understand? But Akram, which is something that we have to understand. The system in this part of the world we live, it doesn't permit that what we call community, that communist. You see, this is what we need in Mama Africa. The system was having that communism. We was having our dad, they go to work, and our mom, they prepare. Some of them were housemaidens. Some of us, like me, my mom was a seamstress. You understand? She making a lot of dresses them for people as well. She goes to the market. She finds food and everything. She cook for the children or whatever it is. My dad was going to work and he bring. You understand? The way you have to weigh these things them. That is the amount they were using even to pay for their house rent or for the houses them be. It's a different system. That's why people who might be living in Korea, in China, and what, they might not find it easier to live in this country. Everybody might go on to say, children and parents or whatever it is, living almost the same time, going to work to find money. There's no family. There's nothing like that in this particular country. You understand? The system has destroyed everything that we who need to return and go and build our system again. That's why when people go to Africa, they go to these places, if you're able to build your house or whatever, you find that it's a different way of life. Even when we talk about Jamaica just now, we said there's a lot of people who have houses or whatever it is. Most of the things that these people need, if they have a good government, who will concentrate on the agriculture, concentrate on something, because that is less kind of life than people need. But when we're talking about all this big money, trillion, all these trillion thing, this is the thing they put to our head, or to some of our head. It become like what we call, because we are moving with this capitalist system in our brain about money. And the thing we need is our mind we need, right? Because they steal our mind of us, and we need our mind to say, well, all right then, we come, even the leaders them, or whatever it is, just like what they do in Burkina Faso, they deal in all these places them, because the people then begin to get their mind that, look, we need our food, we need something to refine for ourselves and do our own things them here. We need our agriculture. We need all these things them, you understand? Our ancestors was living a life before money. They were living in barter system, where everybody was, sharing and doing things them together. When I went to a place like Jamaica, I know your time, that's why, right? I met people them who were gathering together even to build a house, you understand?
So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you get these different people them come, some are beating the which happened in Africa as well. The cement, some are doing you understand? This is the community. But if we allow this capitalist mentality about money or whatever it is to take our thought, our understanding away, that's why we haven't got that kind of relationship, and we begin to put money. The money thing is the thing that has stolen the mind of us. That we can't even concentrate again. We just think that money is the thing which should be there to make this happen. Money is the thing which should be there to make this happen. No, it's our mind we need to bring together, and we'll get that community and all these sort of things there. We can go to Africa, we get a lot of land in them places them here. We can build our house, right? In Jamaica, they develop what they call cement and all these kind of things right? Yeah. That's it.
But they export, They export most of it.
That's it. We have the materials them, right? All we need is our mind, and we don't want to look like the West or the East or whatever it is. We want to look like an African, where we can build even just like Zuma, President Zuma, who was in South Africa. He built a tent, you understand? Which look like a tent, like them huts, which they built in Africa, right? From long ago. That's what he designed in one of his ranch or whatever it is. This is the thing. We need to cut our mind. I will behave like an African. I will don't behave like a Western world or whatever it is. Somebody was in your program once, not your own program, and this bloke who come to brother, what is he, brother Kweku? I mean, he replaced his show. He was talking about this cryptocurrency and all these kind of things, right? This is what I'm saying. We need to be careful because even the bloke who is on this cryptocurrency, he got arrested the other time or whatever it is.
Right. One of the initiators of the cryptocurrencies.
Yes. Because they're scamming people, they're making these things like it's an easy something.
No, but the thing is, watch it now. Just like any war, engaging in any war, right? They would like to discredit, or a system, right, or society would like to discredit anything that is undermining their existence. The fact is that it's the same, and I'm going to put that young man in the same category as Gaddafi, right? Because remember, he was saying, right, we're going to come with our own money now, right, which will represent us as Africans, yeah. And then when he had all of those other leaders of those regions within the Africa to say, yes, it's time that we created our own currency, right? And what did they do? They undermined him, right? Or the system or society, unfortunately, that we're part of, undermined him, discredited him in every way that they saw fit. And yet, not less than 10 years prior to that, they were singing his praises, right? They were singing his praises. Why? Because they were able to feed off what the resources that was available. And then when he actually said, look, I've built my own society and everything else, I'm managing my society, right? And now it's time for us to step up to be on the world platform. They didn't want to see that. And in fact, they actually decimated all that he had built, right? To the extent that people there are living in poverty now, right? And that is what the society, or this society, or what the society we're part of, prefer to see, rather than the development that was available there. You know, so So this is the mentality of what we need to really establish that and be aware of. The poison that we are drinking in daily, right? Rightly said, rightly as you just said, my brother, right? The three sisters there, I was just in the listening. I didn't want to accept a lot of what they were saying, but there's obviously a reason why they're saying it. And obviously I want to know the deeper conversation. So that's why I said that we have to talk about this at another time, right? Because I want to know the deeper understanding or understanding of what created that.
Can I help you with that?
Yes,
okay?
you can. Yes, you can.
Can I help you with
yes,
that?
yes,
Okay?
Brother Akram. Come
I'll
true.
give you one example, okay? And this is coming from the spiritual leader of the Muslims. He said, right, and that's advice. You marry a woman, try to put her to the standard that she is accustomed to, okay? If you don't try to keep her to the standard that she's accustomed to, you will lose her, right? Now, my wife was pointing out to me in China that because we was discussing this thing, because China had this thing about one child thing. But she said that because of the situation that they're in, they've now lifted that.
That's right. So I was about to point that out. Yeah.
So therefore, I'm saying, well, there'll be a population boom. But my daughter and my wife, because they watch these programs and they listen very attentively, they said, no, There's not going to be population boom. Because what is happening is, and you're going to hear something from that many of the women who are working in the city, again, because they're living, they have the money, they can live a good life now for themselves and so forth, right? So the men, the farmers in the rural areas, the people, they're wealthy, they have farmers wealthy and so forth, and they can't get a woman to marry.
Yeah.
They can't get one of the local women to marry because all these women now, they're high-polluting women and so forth, and they don't want to go down to the farm, right? And so what they're doing, they're coming to Africa to look for women. Yeah, they're flashing their money in front of these African women, because, to come and marry them so that they can have wives and children because the local Chinese woman is not willing to go out into the sticks. You see, right? So that again shows you what I'm talking about. The situation when it comes to men and women. Women have certain different things. Women. I mean, a man needs sleep here today and sleep here tomorrow, no problem. But a woman, she's looking where my nest is going to be, in order, right? I don't want a stupid house. I want the best nest that I can have. And if you can't provide that, there's going to be problems. So this is the situation, and many of them, they're coming along and saying, well, why am I, because I've had lots of cousins, they're not married, they're not with any man or whatever, because they have good jobs and so forth, they live their life. So, the problem is that when they go to look for a man, most of them are the ones with the trousers hanging down their backside, right? And they're not going to university to go pick up those men to carry them. You know what I'm saying? And they either bury themselves, or like many of the others are doing, they're marrying to white women, white men, and so forth. You see, right? And that is where. So this is what I'm saying. It's back to what I'm talking about when it comes to women. They're not thinking along the lines of what me and you can sleep anymore, right? Like I just have a friend of mine. He's gone to Gambia. He's the problem. Say, well, look, I didn't have a problem and so forth. She can't live like me. I can go and sleep there in one room and this and that. She can't do it. You understand? So he has to send her back to her mother with the life is comfortable until he gets himself sorted out. You understand? So I'm just saying that is the reality. We mustn't move away from that. Maybe one or two, because as I said right now, I bring in some cashews, and Dr. Abu gets a beautiful cashew, and the lady who done that, suddenly her husband just passed away. But her husband had a stroke for the last over 15 years. And she's the one that built everything and take care of her husband and everything like that. You understand? You see? So there are women out there who will do it. Yeah. Who will take care of the men. And some of them. And
that's the thing. It's not all sisters. It's just it's the few minority, right, who are experiencing this. But I'm finding those minorities more often than not. You understand? Yeah, because there are those who are happy in their relationships, and as life goes, so life comes. Yeah. And they just ride the tide of time, and whatever happens. Yeah. But
as I said, when I had my accident in '95, here I am. I was a whole man. I was able to go down to do this and so on and so forth. Now here I am. I've lost my leg and other things like that, and I'm not the sort of man. I expected my wife was going to leave me. I prepared for that with her, but thankfully she stayed by, and and that's why I'm so grateful to her. Whatever. Because she was in the hospital with me every day. She was there for 3 months. Every day she came morning and she stayed until night. So, so as I said, maybe again, from the culture where she comes from in Africa, maybe that's what, But as I said, thankfully I was able to get back on my feet and continue to be the man that I was in the support, But yeah, I mean, but this is something that we have to be mindful of. Right? We have to be mindful of that. This is the nature, and you can't take anything away from the nature. That is something that
the line is getting very bad, very poor.
Yes, I'm getting a lot of distortion from Brother Akram,
So no, I was just saying that that is the reality, that regardless to whatever we may think, we have to look at it in the reality of what it is.
Right, we're in the last 5 minutes of the program.
Yes, my brother. Let me end up with this. Yeah, the thing is, this is what you remember yesterday on my brother's show, right? We're talking about. You see what happened? We, these African people, first of all, we have to get our African mind again together, right? We have lost what we call our tradition, our culture. You understand? We have assimilated inside the European, the Western kind of what they call civilization. Which there's no civilization in their system. All their system that they make people inhuman. You understand? They're not the people here in this part of the world, as I have observed, the America, Europe, and all this kind of thing. It's like not human. You understand? Even they have gone so cruel to themselves that they're destroying their own self. They don't mind even destroying the other people or whatever it is. They don't care. You understand? All they do is just this money. So this is what we should be careful of. Don't concentrate on this money too much, and let us get our mind. And because when you're talking about billions, trillions, and all this kind of thing there, it's like another level of thinking or whatever it is. But if you get what you can eat, you get your agriculture, you get your farm, you get your house, you get your water supply, you get your electricity. The thing is, those who they are the leader of some of these places in Africa, because I can go there and say, okay, I develop this, I put this, or whatever it is, but I need to go and spend money. If we get rid of these idiot leaders, them or whatever it is, who's around, who are not Pan-African, they haven't got a Pan-African mind, right? So begin to think about we, the people, but they think about themselves individually, right? This is the like what they call Arab Spring. This is what Africa should have, Africa Spring, where we begin to destroy them particular leaders there who are sucking the breath of this Western world or whatever it is, who are pulling them for their own interests. You understand? Now, even what happened, America has just kind of say they want to ban people like Gabon, they want to ban Uganda, they want to ban because they talk from them, you understand? They get what they call this African Growth Act or whatever it is, which is wrong. They haven't got human whatever here. We are doing something for ourselves, my brother.
Exactly.
So, my brother, let me leave it there. I know we can go more.
Okay. Right, listen, I'm going to have to cut the line now, right? As you say, we're in the last few minutes now. And I want to say thank you for joining us this rising. Words for thoughts. Yeah. Anyhow, you know that you can message us at any time on 079-474-79219. And also, you can call into any of the chat shows and share your point of view. It might have inspired you to say, let me expand on this type of thing, and even have a discourse amongst yourself, right? Remember also, always stay true to yourself and true to those around you, right? For the rest of the day, our next up would be our brother who's with the Griot Show, right? Our brother Kwame, right? He shall be up there, and we look forward to hearing you and interacting with you throughout the day here on the Galaxy of FaWe.net. Until then, let's have a peaceful day. Peace is our nature. Let's go.